Well, I think first on my mind, I couldn't be more proud of a group of kids. These young ladies have been, they just tied the school record for most wins in the history of the University of Texas women's basketball with 34. We're going to give God the glory for number 34. We're also going to congratulate Tennessee. That is one heck of a basketball team. I told her when I shook her hand before the game started, I go, it's going to be a knockdown dragout. I knew it was going to be. She's done an unbelievable job with that group. They play so hard, and you've got to really execute some things to handle how they play. We were real good at times, and sometimes we weren't. But I think the thing that you got to acknowledge, too, is not only do you have these two veterans here that provide us stability, but these two freshmen down here, they might have been the difference today. This is our juice. This is our energy. They're so unselfish. They have juice on the bench. They play with juice on the floor. They really stepped up today. 5 for 7, 5 out of 10, 3 for 5 from 3 for Jordan Lee. Just really played well. I think obviously the fourth quarter, we held them to 9 points. When we broke the huddle to start the fourth quarter, I told them, I said, 50 points in 3 quarters is a lot. It's a little bit outside of where we like to be at that point. Boy, they went out there and guarded hard, defended. I don't think the last 4 minutes they scored, somebody said. So it takes a lot against that team. Man, that takes a lot. And so I'm so proud of them because I know it was hard, but we have a saying all the time, it will be hard, it will be difficult, but it will be worth it. And so we had 40 paint points. Our goal is always 35, 36, which is good. And, we held them to 19% from three-point range, and they shot 37 from 2. So we just found a way to score enough points, and but did a great job defensively, especially in transition. They only had 2 transition buckets. At our place, I think they had 19. So it was 10-2 on fast break for us, which at our place, I think they had 19. So we did a much better job with that. But proud of our kids. So hard to do. And again, not our best night, right? I don't think anybody thinks that watches us play that was our best night. We had 14 turnovers. I think we only had 6 at half, but we did force 18. So on to the next one. And as I've told them, to me, it's the hardest one to win. But they're going to have an opportunity to get it. So.
Okay, we'll take questions for the athletes. We'll start here on the left.
Rori, last 5 minutes, y'all held them to 1 free throw. How did this team turn up the defensive intensity in the last 5 minutes?
We didn't want it to be the last time we did it. I think we talked about accountability and leadership, and it's not just us seniors or us who have more experience that stepped up to the plate to just tell everybody, just lock in. Like, we were over here grabbing each other by our jerseys and telling them, like, you can't let this happen, you can't let this happen, like, stuff like that. And I think it was just collectively, we all just wanted it so bad. And I know they played super hard. They really did. But I think us holding them to only 9 points in the fourth quarter, that just shows that's truly how we play defense. Like, that is us right there. Anything else is not us at all, but this is us doing 9 points in the fourth quarter against a great team like that. But, yeah, I just was so proud of my teammates to be able to step up like that and just play hard all the way. Like, we know they were going to be pressing the whole game. We understood that we'll probably be a little bit more winded than a few of them because of the way they sub it in and out. But at the end of the day, you have to find some toughness, and we did.
We're going to go to the front right.
John High, Fox 7, Austin. For Jordan and Bryanna, what was the mindset y'all came in with? Because it did seem like there was just a different energy when y'all were out there.
For me, it's kind of always about going to take things. I knew coming in that I'm going to be playing behind some amazing people and some amazing leaders, and it's about staying consistent. I kind of leaned on my circle to get some feedback and advice throughout the year, and just keeping my mind kind of in the right frame and being able to take advantage of the opportunity when it presents itself, and Bree and I were able to do that tonight.
For me, it's simply to compete. Compete. Yeah.
We'll go to the aisle right here on the left.
Cedric Golden, Austin American-Statesman. Bree, when I asked you yesterday about the bright lights of the NCAA tournament, your eyes lit up. And then I'd like to ask you about that sequence in the third quarter when you scored, got a steal, drew a charge, and was going pretty nuts. How exciting was that for you?
Very exciting, as everyone probably could tell on the court, how I was screaming, slapping the floor, all that good stuff. But it was just a great moment for me, and I just fed off of that energy, and I just played hard every single possession, because at the end of the day, the game can come down to one possession, and we want to be on top. So.
To our left.
Bryanna, Kirk Bowles from the Houston Chronicle. You're not exactly scared of the moment, it doesn't look like. Can you delve deeper into that? And do you feel like your team really needed you to step up in such a big way?
We just worked very hard in practice. My teammates know that I'm capable. My coaches encourage me, and I just kind of take that out there with me on the court, and I just play hard.
Right aisle.
Ben Pickman from The Athletic. For Rori, just how have you watched Bree grow from the start of her freshman year and over the summer to get to this point and what she did today? As she looks at you, awaiting the answer.
I just told her before we walked in here that I knew she was ready for the moment, and that she always needs to be ready, because just the way she puts that much effort and emotion into how much she cares about winning, it's just something that you need as a teammate. Like, I know she's an amazing basketball player, but I think she's just so successful because how great her attitude and how much she, like she said, she just wants to compete. And I knew the time was going to come. Like, I knew she was going to be that big moment in a game that we needed, just because she shows it every day in practice. And I'm just super proud of her, and seeing how me and her can just talk to each other on the court. We don't, we didn't get a lot of minutes together on the court, at the beginning of the season, and now we're playing together, and I just love it so much because she's just somebody I can go to and talk to, and she listens so well during those tight moments, and not only is she just listening to what I'm saying, but she's telling me, what I need to do too. And so I think that's really important and a great relationship to have with a senior and a freshman. So.
Go to the right.
Thomas Asher with TheDale.com. I'll ask Madison, just with the way that they sub in just so much, especially on defense, just can you kind of talk about that battle and kind of keeping a level head when all these players are coming in and out just really quickly?
Personnel.
Yeah, I think that's when we lean on each other more than anything, because, they're subbing in so much, it's just dang, they see, who's in now? But, no, I just think that our coaches really prepared us. And I think also the number one thing with, kind of containing them while they're subbing in so much is knowing their personnel, knowing who can shoot, knowing who can do what. And I just think that we kind of talk about that so well. We've been just, talking on the court about, who can shoot, while they're playing. So I just think just knowing personnel, communication, and just kind of, leaning on each other, it really got us through this game.
We'll go to Zoom for any questions. We have none. Ladies, thank you. You're dismissed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good Horns. Proud of this team. Thank you. Proud of you, Coach.
Good job.
Appreciate you.
No problem.
Way to go, Bree.
Okay, we're ready for Vic. Please get your hand up. We'll start in the front.
ESPN.com. Coach, what have you learned? You've had a lot of experience in an Elite Eight game, both as an assistant, as a head coach. What have you learned about that, and how do you put that into play? You're going against a program that hasn't ever been in an Elite Eight game before.
Yeah, Michael, I think it's the hardest game to win. Before I get to that, that's some great kids, y'all. Like, we are so blessed at Texas to have some absolute wonderful young ladies, and those kids, man, they played their heart out tonight. But the answer to your question, Michael, is it's a difficult game to win. You know, I've been in it a bunch. The way we play, and we didn't really even press that much tonight, but obviously they did, and for us to, you know, we got a day to kind of recover a little bit and get ready. You know, that game, you know, as we all know, there's so much on the line, but you've got to just go play. You've got to relax. You've got to go play. It's another game. We all know what the ramifications are, but at the end of the day, you know, it's a game where you're going against somebody, usually it's in the top 10, you know, in the country, and they got great players, and you're going to have to execute. So TCU's no different. We probably could have met in Corsicana and saved a lot of money playing them, but nonetheless, you know, it's I think it's great for our state. Coach has done a great job with them in that program. They've got really good players. I watched them play Louisville, and man, they just made 3 after 3 after 3. And it's another team that we're going to have to really do a good job of getting out and guarding. But that game is very difficult, and you got to have kids that can just kind of block out all the distractions and everything around and just go play the game.
Here on the aisle.
Ben Pickman from The Athletic here. You know, Vic, yesterday you talked about that the best press attack is a great point guard. I guess, one, do you want to amend that comment to make it plural, great point guards?
Yeah.
And two.
Played 3 of them today.
Right, exactly. And two, you know, Rori talked about, you know, just now rubbing off on Bree. Just how have you seen her rub off on Bree, not only prepare her for this moment, but also the future of the program? Again, that's who Rori is. You know, she did that with Booker. She explains, you know, why Coach is running what he's running, and you know, for Bree, she's had to learn the same lesson, that there's a reason why I'm running something. But I think what you have to realize, Rori is fast, Bree is electric, and that's 2 changes of pace that hard for teams to kind of get used to, you know. And so Bree and Jordan, y'all, they are not short on confidence. For being young, sometimes you know what they say, what you don't know don't hurt you. And those 2 are just so confident. And, you know, Jordan goes 5 for 7 tonight, is that right? No, 5 for 10. Bree went 5 for 7. Both those kids are just, they're really confident kids. And, you know, they've played a lot the whole season, really. So tonight, I got a whole coaching staff over there telling me that the 4-guard lineup is plus 19 or whatever. And so finally I just said, okay. And we played them the whole 4th quarter together.
To the right.
Hey, Thomas Ashworth with AL.com. You've been coaching in the SEC for a little while. Just can you talk about maybe not just the depth of this league this year, but specifically with teams that, you know, there are a lot of teams that could come and win a game, you know, depending on the matchup. But can you talk about the depth of just the league this year, specifically with teams that could win a game?
Well, I mean, it's a nightmare. That's all I can tell you. I have to live it for 2 months, 2.5 months. It's the worst 2.5 months of my life every year. There's just so many good teams, so well coached, and so many great players. And, you know, for us to meet them in the Sweet 16, it just, again, it says a lot about our league. But as I told Coach, she's done an unbelievable job with that program in such a short period of time. And, you know, a lot of people didn't think what she'd do or how she's doing it was going to work. I think she's shown them they ain't right, that what they do and how they do it is very effective. And again, getting kids to buy into a system, you know, she's done it so fast. And a lot of credit has to go to her and how they play and the problems that they can create. So we had a few more turnovers today. Well, we only had 2 more than we had the first time, but it seemed like we just had a little more trouble in the backcourt than we did the first time. But, you know, our league is a monster. I mean, there's just no way to no other way to describe it. I mean, it's just a nightmare of a league. And anybody in this league, you know, that's the thing, y'all. You go to the NCAA tournament and you think, oh, man, thank goodness we can go see somebody else. Oh, no, I get to play 2 games, and now all of a sudden I got to play Tennessee. I mean, give me a break. And so it's just, but that's our league. I mean, there's so many good teams. They're all well coached, and there's so many great players. I mean, I walk out there for tip. I'm looking at Tennessee. I'm like, it's like looking at a WNBA team. They got size at guard, size at 5, size everywhere. Athleticism, quickness all over the floor. I mean, it ain't much fun.
Very back.
Andrea Adelson with ESPN.com. Vic, you touched on the defense earlier, but to hold the nation's leading scoring team to 59 points and do what you did to them in limiting their 3-point shots, what was the biggest key to the defensive effort tonight?
Well, don't worry. I can brag about my defense all I want. There's going to be somebody that's affiliated with your network going to be complaining about my offense tonight. So it's okay. I know you're just a messenger, but, you know, our defense was really, really good tonight in that fourth quarter, and especially down the stretch. And you really got to credit my kids and commend them, because I'm sure everybody out there was thinking, good God, they look tired, or this is when it's, you know, and all we did was buckle down and held them to 1 point in the last 5 minutes. Is that right? And so, again, I think we've been in these battles enough. We know what it takes. And again, when you're tired, or maybe in that moment of the last 4 or 5 minutes, that's when you don't rise to the occasion. You fall back on your fundamentals. I thought we did a much better job of keeping them out of the lane. I told Jordan Lee in the timeout at 5 minutes, I go, baby, you got to get your nose on the ball. Like, you got to stop letting them drive that thing down there deep into the lane. And so we did a little bit better job of that. And then that flare screen on the left wing was giving us problems for a 3. And, you know, we might have handled that a little better. I don't know if they ever ran it again, but that was something that we were focused on too. So, again, this is what we do. You know, this is who we are. My kids take great pride in their toughness and their competitive spirit. You know, when it gets hard, it just is about right for us. And it was hard today, y'all. It was really, really hard.
To the front.
The Daily Texan.
Did you drive here?
I flew this time.
Congratulations.
Thank you. When you talk about the confidence that Bree and Jordan have, did you see that when you were recruiting them, or has it developed over their time at Texas?
No, that's what we try to recruit, you know. You got to recruit kids that have a competitive spirit, that are tough, you know, and both of them are pretty, you know, they're both cerebral kids. Like, they're really smart. Jordan Lee is, you know, she may be doing open heart surgery in 10 years. So both those kids are extremely smart. And so, you know, but their competitive spirit is off the chart. Like, it's just really special to have freshmen like that. Y'all, we just played in a Sweet 16 game and had 2 freshmen play 27 and a half and 33 and a half minutes. Like, I looked out there on the floor, and, you know, for me, I look out there sometimes and go, well, we got 2 freshmen out there, and, you know, that might be why that happens. But there's so many good things that happen with them on the floor tonight. And, you know, I'm just so proud of them. They were really tough tonight. And it took everybody that we had over there to get it done, because Tennessee is that good.
Any Zoom questions?
My man right here's got a question. Can you take it? Yep.
Craig Wade, Longhorn Radio Network. Vic, is it because of the ever-changing world of women's college basketball, do you find it ironic that here you are in the Elite Eight for the 4th time in the last 5 years? The one time you weren't was a team led by a guard that you're going to see on Monday night in Haley Van Lith, not to mention a one-time Longhorn, obviously, in Sedona Prince. The irony of what happens in NCAA tournament play.
Yeah, and in the year that we didn't, we lose our leading scorer, you know, Sonia. We lost her with like 7 games to go, and we still found a way to win the league. But we were a way different team and ran into a good team in the second round. But, yeah, it's just, this is the world I live in. there's got to be something done, obviously. I mean, y'all, I'm watching film all day yesterday. After we get done with practice, I stayed in there. But I got to take an hour to make a phone call, recruit, because the portal's open. You know, and it just makes no sense. Like, and so, but I'd spent all day, I couldn't watch any more film. My brain was done, and we were ready. The hay was in the barn, as we say in Texas. And so, but I got to take time, my staff's got to take time to make a phone, you know, to be on the phone. And it's just, it's crazy, you know, but this is the life we choose to live. And it's just the way things are right now. But my team deserves all the attention that I have. And, you know, when we got back yesterday, they'll tell you I sat at that table in the team room and I stayed there for 9 hours trying to find something. And we watched film last night. We got done at 9 o'clock, and I was done. It'd been a long day. And so I know my staff was on the phone and I said hello, but other than that, my team deserves my total attention right now. And if that cost me a kid, it cost me a kid. But this team, I learned this from Coach Blair. The most important recruits you got are the ones in your locker room. Those kids deserve all your attention. And I'm going to give this group all my attention because they have earned it. They deserve it. They're great kids. And so, again, if it hurts us, then it hurts us. But I'm not doing it any other way.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
All right. Appreciate everybody being here. Praise the Lord and hook 'em horns.